Okay, so yeah. Um, 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 my screen is coming up. Okay, yeah. So I believe everybody can see my screen now. So I'll just do oh, um apologies. I'm trying to like show us the link. I had it open before. So one of it is okay the start functional programming. So we are going to like look into some higher order functions on how to maybe manipulate arrays and yeah. So for this week we were dealing with remove elements. Let me. Can anybody hear me? I want to confirm if um, you can hear me. Okay, thank you so much. Um, so we're dealing with remove elements from an array. That's simply how to deal with slice in JavaScript. Um, we're also looking into how to concatenate arrays. Okay. But first off, we look into slice, and now it is very much different from splice. Um, Apologies for just sharing my screen and presenting them. So first off, you should see how slides work. I will have my uh, okay. Mm, I'm going to bring my console on. So we'll try out some of this. Um, we'll see how slides work, and also look into uh, how it is very much different from the slice. How splice is different from slice. So if we try to say fruit, so let's see what then we check fruits, so fruit juices. So on observing this, we'll notice that yeah, originally the what forms the fruits are banana, orange, apple, and mango. And in this case now we are trying to like add lemon and kiwi into these arrays. So if you notice what this simply did, it goes into 0, 1, 2, and then adds um, lemon and kiwi before apple and mango. Trying to find out 0, 1. Okay, let's see how this works. So at position 2, remove 2 items. At position 2, add 2 items. Yeah, 0, 1, 2. That's 0, 1. So what will come next is trying to add these 2 items, which is lemon and kiwi. And if you look at the other tutorial here, it mentions that it intends to at position 2 remove 2 items. It's removing the 2 items by indicating the where it should start from. Where should it start removing items? Let's observe what this do and which of the fruit items are removed. So so here is fruits, and if we check what place will the Yes. So splice is giving us um, the result of the two items that were removed from fruit. Let's see what fruit becomes now. So the two items are these. So say for instance you're trying to like create a function to um, say you're creating a function to remove um, a particular two items from an array. In order to maybe say you want to mess with any of them, you can simply write a function and then use splice. So you see how splice helps us in moving into a function and adding an items to increment that arrays. And the same way you can use it to like remove items by specifying the position at which it should start removing items. So let's look at, if you look at this, it went this way: 0 1 2. So it starts from apple, which is 1 2. So let's try and see. We have banana, orange and kiwi. Let's remove say at position 0, remove one item. That is, we are hoping that it removes banana, and we have orange and kiwi left. So let's see. So it has removed banana. If you check what fruit is now, fruits has been um, reduced to two items, and it's called orange and kiwi. So let's see how it is very much different from slice. Um, yeah, so we have an items of or an array of animals: ant, bison, camel, duck, and element. So we are elephants. Pardon me. So we are trying to like um, let's read what slice do. The slice method returns a shallow copy of a portion of an array into a new array object selected from start to end. End not included. That is, if you're picking, say you're specifying the end to be 2, 2 will not be involved. It will be 0 and 1. And you're picking, if you're saying it should start from 4, or the ending is 4, it should start from 2 and end in 4. 4 won't be included. It will only start from 2 and 3. So we'll see how that is experiment. We'll experiment some of the code ourselves. And so we are trying to slice two items here. If we check what this gives us, it starts from camel, duck, elephant. So basically, it's removing. Now, if you check what animal is now, animal would become it will have just the element of ant and bison. So let's just try it in now. So we'll just see how it works. Okay, so we have ants and we intend to slice animals to two. So this gives us, oh my god, I didn't have this light function. So if we check what animals is now. Okay, what slice actually do is, okay, represent the item of index in that array. The original array will not be modified. Oh, the original array, this is the ant. Let's read again. The slice method returns a shallow copy of a portion of an array into a new array object selected from start to end. End not included. So where start and end represent the index of items in that array. So in this case now, we are basically just having a start and we don't have an end. So let's see. It starts with, okay, okay, 0 1 2. It starts from camel, duck, and elephant. So it basically helps us create a new array. If you do slice, um, so let's say slice of 2 and 4. So what 2 and 4 is do is you start from, yeah, yeah, 0, 1, 2, and instead of it including 3, and elephant wasn't included because elephant happens to be the end. It was specified in this case. So in cases when the end isn't specified, um, the new set of array will include the last element in the array, in the formerly modified array. So, and in cases where the end is specified, we won't be seeing the last item. And we've seen the case of elephant now. So if um, we try from 1 to 5, we have um, we have bison, camel, dog, and elephant. And yes, and because we don't have a fifth item. Let's check 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Because we don't have a fifth item, it just presumed we had one and then added the last items. And let's see how the minus 2 works. So what this did was it started from the back of the item, back of the array, and it says minus 2. So it starts with 0, 1, and this wasn't included, which is the last one. That's the minus 2. It wasn't included. 0, 1. Okay, 0, minus 1. Okay, this is minus 1. My bad. This was minus 1. This is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So from the back, it will be minus 1 and minus 2. And if you check 2 to minus 1, so it's starting from here. Let's see where to count from. 0, 1, 2. This is camel. And if you go from the back, it's minus 1. Yes, checking this. Okay, minus 1. Trying to like figure out this, understand how the minus works. So if anybody like, if you feel not really clear, and you can always call me back and we'll talk better. So we've seen how slice is very much different from, okay, okay, yes, okay, yes, that is what splice do. Splice helps us change the position of an item. Either we go into an array and then add particular item to it, or either we go into the array or we remove items from them. That is what splice, S-P-L-I-C, we do. And when we are talking about slice basically helps you create a new form of array while keeping its original state. So if you have say array of animals, which is ants, say ant, bull, and elephant, and you're trying to do a slice of one, what it will do is it will help you create a new form. That's 0, 1. It will include ants. Yes, it will include ants. Okay, it will start from the first guy, 0, 1. It won't start from the it start from the first guy and the last guy. It will be bull and elephant. Yeah. Okay, can you see my screen? Let's start with say animals. Animals equals to ants. We have ants. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Yeah, I'm sharing my screen. Okay, I'll check. Okay, so you're trying to like, yeah, I didn't know it wasn't. very obvious. Okay, we have elephant and say we have uh, lion. Yeah, and let's make it four. We have tiger. Yeah, so um, if you're trying to use splice, let's start with splice since we started with that. Um, Splice goes into a position and then add it where you want, like begins to add what you need to add to it. So say we want to add just one item, just one item. We'll specify which items to add into them. So we'll say just add n to animals. So let's see what the new animal form is. So now we have if you notice what splice is doing, this is 0 1. It goes into this array, it goes into the animal array 0 1 and then starts to add n from there. So it's starting before lion now. So if you see the index it shares now, it will be 0 1 2. It have an index of 2 in this array. What it did is it modified the original animal which is the array. So if we try to use slice on this, what slice will do is slice will basically um, go into the array, fetch those items, and then help us create a new array. Let's say of 2. We know where the index 2 is. Okay, I think I got the message. Mhm. Um, yeah, so it goes into what slice has done is it has gone into the animals array and it fetched from here 0 1 2. It starts from here to the end. So if you check the original animals, you see they are still maintaining the 5 items in the animals. So say for instance you are creating a function where you need to fetch an item. You fetch a particular array from, you want to fetch a new form of array. Let's say you have animals. I want to create a new array of animals. So I'll say animals above will be equals to animals dot slice, and then this will be 2. So you see animals above will be animals above, yeah. So if you see we have we went into this animals variable array and then created a new form. So it basically helps you create a new form, very much different from what splice do. Splice just goes into an array, and what it does is it helps you add it. Okay, you want to add from this form to this form. Okay, we'll help you add it. Say you want to push an item from a particular item, or say you are creating you're creating um, a platform, a market platform. Okay, and something like sh- yes, exactly. That's why I use the new variable because it's giving me a new form. That's why I called it animals above, and then um, yeah. So you see, it's very much different from that. And if you look at what happened in splice, immediately I called the splice method on animals. It just it didn't return me any value in the array. So basically, it just went into the animals array and then added into the splice. So if I want to remove, say, I want to remove n from this array because n is not a wide animal. I will just simply do using the splice method, splice. Okay. So yeah, again 0 1 2. So it will be say 0 Zero. Let's see what animals. If I am right, it didn't. I think I was wrong with that. Let me see. Splice. One. What am I doing wrong? Mm, 0, 1, 2. Okay, okay, yeah, it tells us how many items to remove. It didn't specify how many items to okay, yeah. So, if you notice what this remove method do, is helping me create a new array. I'm trying to like observe it now. What when I did a splice of this 0, 1, so it starts from here. So let's say what do we have in the animals now? Did it change the animals? Yeah, it did. Okay, okay. So what the splice do with the removal method is it removes it and gives us a new form. So we can simply use the splice to do what that slice do. Look at how I will do it. I'll create a new item subarray, say const stationery. Yeah, stationery we have pen, we have books, we have chalkboard, and see we have we have eraser. So so basically, we want to observe how the removal method works. We've seen how splice simply goes into an array and then you modify it. So if you try to like see how it works in the form of removing an item, say um, we want to remove um, marker because marker is say new model or recently introduced. So we want to remove marker from this item using the splice method. So stationary dot splice. So we'll see it helps us create a new form. So we'll just put it into a variable. We say removed. So this will be splice. What should you remove? 0, 1, 2, 3. Say 3. Remove one item. Okay, status. Let's see what remove is. Yeah, so it's removed marker 0, 1, 2, 3. It went into this and then it removed just one item. So you specify which index you're trying to go into and what it should do. Where should it start removing? How many should you remove? If you say we want to remove two, it will remove marker and eraser. That's what this did. But if you look at what stationary is now, which is the original form of stationary, stationary has been modified. It removed an item from it and stationary was modified. This is very much similar to what slice do. Slice goes into where you want it to go and then it removes the guy and then create a new array for that guy. So that's the similarity they share. But slice doesn't give you that ability to go into the guy and then add to that position, which is what splice do. I don't know if that is clear now. Can you let me know if that's clear? So okay, okay. Let's see what conc. All right, thank you. Let's see how. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, thanks for the response. Oh, okay, okay, okay. So let's see how concat works. How can we um add one array to another array? Say you want to um you're building a website like Shopify, and should I say Shopify? You're trying to like you had the okay, should I say previously old arrays and of items if you which you have earlier picked, but on coming to the platform again, you had some interest in some other stores to pick, some other items to pick. So you could just simply pick these items and then add it to the former array and increment it. So in a way, you're trying to like increment that array. So let's see how this worked. This has actually been, let's see, yeah. So we have an array one of ABC and an array 2 of DEF. So if you see what this was basically doing, it starts from the last guy and then just like our normal concatenating strings or concatenating sentences. So say you want to um, create, how should I, um, okay, yeah, I was going to explain, um, say you have, let's start with x equals to 5. They tend to create a new value of x value. So I'll say um, the value of x. So if you're concatenating string, you just simply add a plus and it's space here. So if you see what x value is, x value, x value. So it concatenated the this into a sentence. So it's very much similar to trying to mess with arrays as well. Um, yeah, and yes, the other values still remain themselves too. That is array one, array two. We just have a new array is called array three. What we have next is add elements to the end of an array using concat instead of push. Okay. We saw how. Okay, let me show you how push works. What push do to an array is it goes into an array and add the value to the last guy. So say we have array. Okay. Yeah. So if you look into this again, you see how the difference is like clear. So for concat, observe concat added just not just one value. Let's see how push works. If push will allow us do way more than that. I look for array push. Yes. Mm, okay. Oh, yeah. It's very much similar to push. Let's see. Add elements on using concat instead of push. Oh my God. Um, let's see. Let me observe here. Let's observe it. And don't know why. Mm, okay, my screen is very big now. Okay. If you look at animals add pigs, goats, and sheep, and it added cows to it. Let me see what this guy do now. Okay, let me just copy from here to make it faster. And start from the side. Okay, so if you look at what push simply did to animals, it added the value to push. And if you check how, okay, this also did what is very much similar to what we did then. So why should I use, let's ask, why should I use concat over push in checkers? Let's see if there is their opinions or why people prefer. Okay, this is from Coding Ninja. Um, okay, I saw one reason now that push is um, okay, adds elements to the end of an array and returns the new length of the array. Thus, your return here is invalid. The concat method is used to merge arrays. Concat does not change the existing arrays, but instead returns a new array. That is why it is very much different from push. Push, if you see now for arrays for concatenation, we are adding a different array from to a new one, like, and they were still maintaining their like their pre-existing form. And but what this guy did is there is an array, and then we have to add a set of values into them. We need to add set of values. Let's look how I think there thinking there will be a demo. Okay. Okay. Um, this is another one. According to MDN, okay, which is the guy we were looking at. Method adds one or more values to the end of an array and return the new length of the array. If you see the value this guy is returning when you do a push, it returns the value that's the it's like the length of item in that array. Why concat? Concat is used to merge two or more arrays. That is basically what it's done for. It's used for merging two different arrays or more than two arrays. This method does not change the existing arrays. That is, they still maintain their previous form. They only got merged. But if you see what count do, count of course returns you the number of values or the number of items in that array. Look at what this guy is doing. So expected output, if you check what count is, count will not give you the new form of the array. It won't do that. What it will do instead is it will give you the number. So you have to now call um have to call this value differently. You see, if we didn't even add, it is us adding. If we are pushing for push, we push. At the same time, we take note of the length, then we push. So, but for concat, concat is quite different. It's basically you messing around with, say you have two arrays of values and you need to like either match them and then do something with it. So that's what you have. So say if you are given an algorithm where you have two arrays that involves you merging them and bringing out the odd from them from both arrays. So that's what you do. Like you try to like want to first add those two values. That is adding the elements. Oh, I don't know if I left before. I don't know. Or someone joined. Okay. I don't know if I was able to like try to like do justice between the differences between concat and push. Okay, okay. No issues, no issues. Um, Let me also admit that yes, yeah, exactly. So that's why these guys are called, or will I say maybe um yeah, that's why they fall into the functional programming, and this is basically you trying to like um You understand? This is you exposing yourself to how much more methods are exposed to you. And say you're dealing with JavaScript and you need to. I've seen. Okay. I don't know. Like I try to like. For me, if I learn the concept, try to like see um say some algorithm that is similar to it, and now I could use them, or try to like look into one of those algorithm pages and try out something too. So it depends on the algorithm you see before you look into which methods will will do the work for you, even make more faster. And if you look into algorithms, you'll be looking into one's performance. How faster can this give me the value? How can you fastly achieve? So if you look into the aspect of sorry, I'm not too much good with algorithm myself, and uh, so it basically just expose you to how you can mess with forms of arrays and remodify them and maybe add them and then do a lot of stuff with it too. And if you look into how the reduce method works, so let's see how reduce work. Okay, thanks for the response. Okay, let's see reduce JS. Um, I'm also admitting that I'm learning myself. Yeah, you're noticing the differences, right? Okay. Yeah, so there are large differences that exist between them and how you can quickly use one. Imagine me going into an array, a position, and then removing, oh, should I use slice or splice? So you want to consider which is way more faster to write and will help you fetch the item you need instead of create a new form. And so it all depends on the algorithm at hand. Okay, that's the sorry, give me a minute, please. I need to call, like, make a call, please. I'm very sorry. What's up? You know, Siam? Yes, now don't send them since where you send them, give me now, I send them. What did the woman call they talk? Okay, why you see me cannot send? See me cannot send them again, I'm waiting. I don't already send them, now maybe you just send me account number. Tell her me to give you your money. Mm, mm. Sorry, very sorry. Okay. Yeah, so let's see how we're trying to like check out reduce. Now we can use reduce to solve complex issues. Okay. Um, yeah. So we have an array one, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, and we have a cont 0. So let's why do you have a cont 0? So look into why we have a cont 0. So sum with initial equals to array one dot reduce. Um, okay, I think array one reduce is okay. Let's read what it does. The reduce method executes a user-supplied reducer callback function on each element of the array. Oh, In order, okay, the reduce method executes a user supply reducer callback function on each element of the array in order passing in the return value from the calculation on a preceding element. The final result of running the reducer across all elements of the array is a single value. What is this saying? Okay, so the first time that the callback is run, there is no return value of the previous calculation. If supplied, an initial value may be used in its place. Otherwise, the array element at index 0 is used as the initial value, and iteration starts from the next item, index 1 instead of 0. Perhaps the easiest to understand case for reduce is to return the sum of all the elements in an array. Perhaps the easiest to understand case for reduce is to return the sum of all the elements in an array. Okay, the sum, that is the addition of 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's see how we can work with our reduce. So basically, we have a value starting with 0, so we call initial value to be 0, and say we want to um, work with reducer. We call const sum with initial, that is, it's summing the value of this guy here with this guy with the 0, which was the initial value. Let's see how the initial value was used in this function. So I'll just take this to this, which is to make it more clearer for us, and then we'll look into how they work. So how did they work with this? So we start with array1 and we do a reduce. So we do a callback function. We call a function within the reduce, the same way you say you want to do an add event listener, then you call this, you specify the guy and then pass in the function that is the callback function itself. So it's very much similar to how this is working. So in this case, what the reduce do is it takes in the value of accumulator, and then the current value. We don't know what the current value is until let's see what it does to these two parameters. So it takes in uh, accumulator and current value, so it adds accumulator plus the current value, and then I'll need to, okay, yeah, let's see what this guy is doing. Then taking the initial value, I want us to check it. So it is saying array 1. So let's see what some sum of initial value adds everything. Okay, it adds everything, all the value 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 give us 10. But we'll try to like work with other values so we understand it better. Say we have array um 1, 2, I just use 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, exactly. And we want to add 1, 2, 3 to we want to add 1, 2, 3 to 15. So we have an initial value called, we call it first value was 12. So we want to add 1, 2, 3 to the value of 12. We already know first to be 12, so we'll just want to go into this array, help me add the value in this array, and then plus it with this guy. So it's a very easier way to use reduce. So what reduce do for you is, let's say, addition, or addition value equals to going into this array of 1, 2, 3, reduce. So let me see how many value it takes. Okay, yeah. So it takes in the fallback function and the initial value where you want it to start from. It takes in what do you want to do with this guy? What do you want to do to this array? Takes in so the array will go into itself, takes start from 1, add it to 2, add it to 3, and then add it to the last guy, 4. So at the same time, it thereafter adds the current value. So this current value is what state it is at the moment. So let's see. Um, say we'll call us. Let's call. Let's reduce this to vacuum. So let's write the callback function here, and then the initial value will be first. So in our function, we'll create what this callback function will do is it will take in two parameters, which is the item. We'll call it item, and then um, call this guy earlier or current state. Current, yes. So what this current means that when you take this new item, when you take a particular item, add it to this guy, add it to this first guy to start from this guy. So we will do item plus current. So yeah, this is one function here, and then the guy where we want it to start from. So the reduce in a way has helped us. There are other methods you could have used to help you maybe bring out values from this array and then add them or add each of these items. Say again, it will help you understand. Let me. So other method could have been say is doing array 0 plus array 1 plus array 2. So just call this guy sum val equals to. Yes, exactly. So in a way, this first this first still retains its form, so it doesn't change. It is only specifying. It has only this first guy is actually the current guy. It happens. It becomes the current guy here. So it will be 1 plus this current guy, making it 13. So the callback function continues. Call the item again. 2 plus the current guy and 3 plus the current guy. So that's how the reduce function works with this callback function. Um, let me clear my exactly. Very simple, exactly. That is what it is trying to do. Instead of you to have maybe loop into this function and add them, or follow this long method I was trying to show you, that is going into specifying their indexes and adding them, and all of that, all of that method are sort of like longer. So again, you are talking about higher order functions that will help you like fasten some of the stuffs or taxes you're trying to like achieve. So you see how reduce basically go into this array, fetch me each values and add them. So once it adds this value, it consider my current value. So I could have just simply say my current value. That is what we use as the example. They specify their current value to be 0. That is start from 0 and continue to add. So in our own case, it is starting from 12 and continue to add the items in those arrays. So I was trying to say, let me see if I have something in mind. I have say you have a customer who um who has a dues. He has dues of -5. He needs to pay you a dues of -5, and He starts paying gradually. So he started paying you gradually and bought some other stuffs. So say new payment, new purchase, let's say new purchase equals to the first one he bought was two. Um, he was able to pay for that one. He bought four because it reminded him of your listing. So he paid you. He bought an item of one and paid one. He just came and paid you four, and then he bought an item worth five. In this case now. So in this case, let me start the illustration again. The very first one was two. Okay, two. Let's say he was trying to clear his debt as at then. He cleared his debt of two debts, and later on he came on to clear other debts, but he still had some stuffs to buy from that shop. So he cleared his debt of five debts, and he has one left. And he came again to purchase. I'm just using this illustration. It just popped up my head, and I decided to use it. So we have what the new purchase is. So because you have a record of all these things, you decided to mess with them, put them in an array and try to calculate them. See how the calculation works. If you we okay, let's say we start uh, we have it new purchase. You have the new purchase in hand because you have them reduced. So we have the initial state it was holding, which is the dues. So we are passing the initial value and now we're passing our callback function. So our callback function will be um, expected to do something for us. So what is expecting to do for us? We can mess with it. We can say, let's say, if you can do a multiplication and sort of those things come to my mind. But I'll just use this illustration, finish this illustration, and then show you what came to my mind. So we'll do item. So it's very awesome to have stuffs you call them, like items you or variables you call them. That is way more easier. And so it gets this item and then adds it to the new current state. That is add it to the new current state. Take an item, add it to the new current state. So let's see how much okay, let me just pass this into see how much stuff he has paid us and he's paying them in full. So say paid so we do this paid is 6. So basically we have say minus it's like clearing is 5 5 5 and if you add 2 plus 4 we have 6. So he he's not owing us at all, he's paying all of his debt. And what was coming to my mind the other time was say you want to do other stuff like I think I called my new purchase. Let me still use this guy. And 1 initial value is initial is 1 equals to 1. Yeah. So say you want to multiply the values in this array. So what is it going to give us? So we'll call this more. Uh, so more equals to new purchase dot reduce. Um, so our callback function will be item. What did I do? Okay, item call. So um, item. The initial value is initial. So what would this would do? We are trying to like show you that of multiplication. Let's see if this gives us a multiplication. So yeah, exactly. So you can also use it to you can mess around with it. You're just simply identifying to what your callback function to do to those values. Yeah. Okay, let me go back to the code. So you're trying to explain something. I didn't get that. Mm. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So, the way I explained the other time was, it's just like saying when you loop this to get each of these values, we will fetch two first, two multiplied by the initial value. So our initial value happens to be this current guy, which is one. So one times two gives us the new current state, and then 2, that is 4 times 2, which is the new current state, and then 5 times so that's 4 times 8 is 4 times 2 is 8, so it will be 5 times 8. I don't know if you get it now, the way I explained it. Yeah, so our initial value must be specified, and if you don't specify it, I think they added the clause here if you don't specify it. So the first item that the callback is okay. I think we can better understand this. Now let's try and read it again if we understand. So the reduce method executes a user supplied reducer callback function on each element of the array in order, that is in order of their presence in the array. It calls them orderly. And passing in the return value from the calculation on the presiding element. So if you understand, while I was trying to explain what this new state is, I was I was saying initial is 1, so 1 times 2 is 2. So our new state is now 2. So that's what it is saying. Like making the calculation on the presiding element. The final result of running the reducer across all elements of the element is a single value. That is, after it has done what you told it to do, the final result will be a single value. And if you observe what we did so far, the single values of doing all of this is 40. And oh, I cleared my console already, so I've showed others. Others will result into a particular a particular value once you use a reducer. So the first time that the callback is run, there is no return value of the previous calculation. So I am guessing, okay, the first time that the callback is run, there is no return value of the previous calculation. If supplied, an initial value may be used in its place. So otherwise, the array element at index 0 is used as the initial value, and iteration starts from the next item, index 1, instead of 0. Okay, and iteration start from, okay, let's try to see how this works. So it's saying if we don't specify the initial value, what will be the case? So let's try and remove this and see what more will be this time around. So what it's saying is if we do not specify what this guy will be, it starts from this guy, it starts from this guy. That is why it's saying the previous state will not. Let me. Okay. The first time that the callback is run, there is no return value. That is, if we are presuming there is no initial state we are identifying. This time around, we don't want to specify where it should start from. It it will start from 2, and then the iteration will begin from 4 to 5. Or if you have more than just 3 elements in your array, it will go as much as that. So your looping starts from 4 down like upwards. Yeah, so that's for reduce. I think we still have a few other methods to look into. We have yeah, I don't know. There is mapping. What mapping does is quite similar. Let me show you what mapping do. So let's say we have array of, okay, we have array. So if you do array dot map, yeah. So most of the time, the way I use my mapping is I always pass in the for like the callback function, and I'm just seeing what this guy is showing me. I think I don't know what this means. I think the argument is optional. So, and if you okay, say item item will be item plus item. Okay, I don't know. Yeah. So let's see what this guy did. It's added. Okay, it's added itself. Okay, okay, okay. Um, I use it so much of the time when I like work with React, and it just gives us. I didn't know it modifies it this way. Am I? Chill. I want to confirm something. I was thinking it's going to give me each state. Yeah, okay, okay. I did something to each state. That is why. So what if you have item? Let's see from yeah. So there are other way more methods you could use. You're going to look into how sort works. Before then, let's. I think I was looking for map. Yeah, yeah. So the map method creates a new array populated with the result of calling a provided function on every element in the calling array. So what it do is um, it helps you create a new array. So Lumide, can you like mute yourself so that the noise will not intercept? Thanks. Okay. Thank you so much. So what mapping does is mapping helps us create a new form of array. But what it does is it goes into each of the items and then do to it what you want it to do. So in this case, we had 1, 4, 9, and 16. And what we wanted to do was we want to go into the array and then multiply them each by 2. We want to go into an array. So you have a student and you want to offer to them twice of what they have at hand. So yeah, exactly. Yes, they are working with each element. That's yeah. Say, let's look into this reduce. What reduce do is these two all of the item in this array need to be utilized. So you have 2, 4, 5. What mapping would have done is it will fetch you 2, give you 2. What do you want to do with 2? Goes into the array again. Fetch you 4, give you 4. What do you want to do to 4? Again, it's creating a new form of array. It creates a new form of array. Help you fetch 2 first and tells you what do you want to do with these 2. Okay, are you done dealing with it? Create the new form in the array and then map into the second element. What do you want to do with it? So let's look into how they are different. If you look at reduce, what reduce do it's again, if you don't start with a initial value, it starts with the first guy and then what do you want to do with the next guy? It's using that current guy. That's why we have a current. So again, we said it will start with 2 and then loop downwards. do with me with other values you please to do. But what mapping does instead is mapping doesn't return me a single value. What it does is mapping creates me a new form of array that has been manipulated. You have done to the items what you need to do to them. So say we um, intend to say we have we have say we have an domestic, let me call it domestic. Let's see if what is coming to mind is going to work. And we have dog, we have cat, we have um, so so um so domestic when we map let me fetch an item. Let me fetch an item and this item add this item add s to them. So yeah, I don't know what you if you notice what I did now. I'll call this pluralized domestic plural. Let me just call it plural. So what I did to this was to simply go into each of these items. You see what plural is now. So plural is a pluralized version of domestic. It's just pluralizing each item. Dog becomes has changed to a new form, dogs. Why that of cats changed to cat and hen. So if you see for mapping again, select the element and do with what you need to do with it, and go to the next one, do with what you need to do with it, and and it loops that way and messes with each item in the array. At the same time, it helps you create a new form of array of the new manipulated items. So that is what map do. And that for reduce, what reduce would do instead, I think you can, okay, um say this is how I can use reduce in this form. um, Let me see if I can use reduce in this form. Fallback here will be, I think, okay, it's going to, I don't even want to imagine what the end result will be. Say item plus item plus, cool. Okay, then did you notice what reduce did? So if you notice what reduce did in this form, it concatenated all items. So I could have just simply maybe do it in this way. Yeah, yeah. Then put a space in between. So maybe you want to make them a one-liner. So if you again notice what reduce do, and now it's very much different from map. Map created a new form of array with manipulated items, which is very much different from reduce. Reduce will help you mess with the item but return them in one form. So it depends on again the algorithm at hand, and which you feel we do way more faster. We don't want a dog. Algorithm is not saying return me a concatenated form of items in the array. No, that's not what we want. Well, instead, if you want to pluralize, we um we go into each items and then add s to them. So that's how they differ. So if there's one more called filter, um let's see how filter is different. Let's think. Yeah. I think MDN explanation is quite straightforward compared to, I don't know, I prefer that of MDN to Web3 school. So for filter method creates a shallow copy. Again, this creates a new form of array. Like mapping, it creates a new form of array. But what does it do to the array? Let's observe what it does to this array. So it creates a shallow copy of a portion of a given array, filter down to just the elements from the given array that pass the test implemented by the provided function. So we'll look at what tests. So it is like saying you want to remove a particular um, say you want to look at what this guy is doing. He's basically going into this each item and check which of the item length is greater than 6, and then give me a new form of array of those that meets the condition. This is the condition to meet the new set of items. Say um, you want to filter you want to filter you have a population and you want to filter males from females. So, and you have a condition that if they have a particular condition, go into this array of all the population of people in that society, and then give me the male gender. So that is like what the filter does. Go into an array, and then fetch me a new set of array of those who meets my condition. So let's um let's try something out. So I have I'll call this uh let me const say we have values, and these values start with 4, 7, 5, 9, 10. So we want to filter items that are less than 5 but equal to 5. We want to filter items that are less than 5 and equal to 5. So we will do it this way. We'll say values dot filter, and then we'll pass in oh we'll call it item item should be less than or equal to 5. Exactly. So look at what it fetched. So we can at the same time pass this into a value. Say, how will I put it? Let me call it val less than less than 5, less than or equal 5. So we check what val. So I don't know if this is clear. So all this is dependent on, again, if the task you have at hand. And what I would say is I never knew some of these things when I was um, building some, especially if you use you're trying to like build something like a platform that involves you cutting items, and you need to add items or you need to remove items on clicking on an item, remove. So all of these things, or if you want to remove all items in an array, many of those things are dependent on the the methods you feel will work faster. Especially when you have series of items selected and you want to remove items based on their color or based on, so those kind of stuffs are what you use the filter for. No, they can't work on object, but objects do have they have their own methods you could use in manipulating them as well. Yes, yeah, this is just strictly how you mess with items in an array instead. So if you see virtually everything, and if you look at even MDN itself, I think this is called methods. Yep. So these are the methods exposed to us on map using for manipulation of arrays, and we are expected to touch some few others like sort. Say we have these items of values. We have values and okay, I think this was already sorted. So let's see how sorts work. Let's see if there's a way to like maybe sort it ascending order or descending order. Let's see how it works. Um, the sort method sorts the elements of an array in place and returns the reference to the same array. Return the reference to the same array. That is, it doesn't even help us create a new form, but instead gives us the old form. We'll check, we'll confirm. Let's see how it really do well. So the default sort order is ascending. Okay, the default sort order is ascending. So I was saying the other time that let's see how sort works, whether ascending or descending. So the default sort order in ascending is ascending, built upon converting the element into strings, then comparing their sequence of UTF-16 code unit items. Okay, unit values. The time and space complexity of the sort cannot be guaranteed as it depends on the implementation. Okay, so I was saying something about algorithm the other time. So if you're talking about the big O algorithm, you're trying to like look into uh, the time required for uh, you're talking into the performance, the expected time into an action can carry out itself and do stuff. So they said the complexity is based on, okay, complexity of the sort cannot be guaranteed. It depends on the implementation. So let's look an instance here. Um, we have months. So months is not sorted, but months starts with March, Jan, that's January, February, and December. So we are okay. How this sort this. Okay, to sort the element in an array without mutating the original array. Use to sorted. Okay, um so we have the okay, I think I know how the sort works. So you look at the sort. The sort wasn't basically based on the month. It's like when we do verbal raising then and we are saying sort based on the alphabetical order. So it goes in and check. I think this comes first. So it starts with D, that's December, February, that is F, J follows, and then M. So if we were to try out some of this in our console, so we can see what months should give us. So months has been sorted. Okay. Um, let's see how we can sort. Say you have an items of array. I call it 9, 8, 10, 5, 5.5, 7.5, 4, 7, 6. So if we intend to sort these items, um, as okay, let's say array. Let's sort. I'm trying to see why it started with 10. Why did it start with 10? I wasn't expecting 10. Yes. Let me read again. Expected output is okay. Set okay, okay. Let's read again. Built upon converting the element into strings. You convert the element firstly into string, then comparing their sequence of UTF-16 codes. I think we should just the name on the UTF-16. I think it's ABC and 1, 2, 3. So 16-bit code unit. Each character is encoded as at least 2 bytes. Some characters that are encoded with a 1 byte code unit in UTF-8 are encoded with a 2 bytes. Okay. I think Nasa would have better explained this to us. But maybe we haven't looked quite much into the UTF-16 and 18 and 8. But I think if I quite observe rightly, it started with it's arranged based on one. One is coming before two. But why is it two? Mm, okay. So what if you have one? So one will start first instead, and then we do start. So one starts first instead. Yeah. Um, I don't quite understand how the UTF-16 code unit works. Well, it's the observation I had from this. For the words, it starts with the first, that is D, F, J, M. So that's like the observation I have for sort. But sorts again is ascending order. It's sort items to in ascending orders. So sort an array alphabetically using the sort method. Of course, that's what we just observed now. And return a sorted array without changing the original array. So yeah, um, it was stated here on a better way to prevent us not to change the. Okay, let's see how. Let's try. Okay, the method is called to sorted. So we don't want to change this array. Okay, we already have it changed. Say we have a new one. Okay, yeah. Let me tell you again. So we have array of dogs, and we I'm trying to sort this. If you're going to sort this, it's going to start from the C, G, and S. But instead, we don't want the original state to change. Instead, we want to create a new form. So to prevent changing the original state, we'll do to sorted. So to sorted will create us a new form of array. Let's just take note of the new form. New form equals to our new form will be very much different. So the new form is the sorted items, while we are still maintaining our previous dog items that were not sorted. So that's what we use um, to sorted for. So we can as well do split a string into an array using the split method. Okay, the other time we talked on slice and splice. So there is the split method. Um, there is a combine an array into a string using the join method. Um, there is apply functional programming to convert strings to URL slugs. I'm not familiar with this, so I'll do a quick search. Uh, okay, look into that. Use the every method to check that every element in an array meets a criteria. Exactly. Let's see what we look into every. Okay, we have split yet not touched. We have joined. We have uh, converting string to URL slugs. Um, I think I like to look into that. So they have every sum and introduction to. Okay, I will do a Google search on this as well. So we are on the same page. Okay. So I will admit I'm not very much familiar with current and partial application, but um I will assemble a few resources on it that I can gather. For those who prefer videos, I'll share our videos and that of um, some articles. I think there are some on Medium. So yes, I'll just quickly try and touch on some other methods like there is join not yet touch, there is split, there is there are very many, and if you come to MDN has a lot of them that we are not even mentioned in our curriculum. So it all depends on again what you intend to implement. Say you want to find the last guy, you want to find based on index, uh, say you want to find an item based on the last index. Um, for each looks like a loop. I don't know if they treated it in the previous class. I think it was dealt with. It wasn't dealt with. But um very much similar to I think map, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. So let's start with splits first, and we'll be looking to end the core split system. I don't know if Osemi can hear me. Okay. So split. Mm. My head is feeling me. Yeah, splits. Yeah, split method. Okay, split is string into array. Then the split method. Okay. Since I'll just try it. Mm, Using the split method. Okay. I'm trying it out before I just quickly find something about it. Let me see. Split JS. Okay. Okay, this is basically a method for manipulating with strings. The split method take a pattern, takes a pattern and divides a string into into an ordered list of substrings by searching for the pattern, put these substrings into an array and returns the array. So we have a string called the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Um, we did a split. So this split, we are indicating um, where you should start splitting these items. And okay, I'll just quickly copy and then we'll try it out. Yeah. So we'll find out what value words are. Let's see what words will give us now. So if you see what words did was word went into the string, this long string that was fed into the method split, and then it splitted this sentence into an array based on the gap between the D and quick, the gap between the quick and brown. That is how I did it. And let's see what char gives us. Okay, char. Oh, so char had no split. It had no gap in between them. That is why it started splitting from the very first guy. D, mm, D was split, quick was split, brown was split. So let's maybe write the code and split without anything being passed to it. Okay, yeah. So the other time before I started, I think I made an attempt in trying out name, and when I did the name of splits on name, what he did instead was he created the O value into an array. So we could have just simply do a const and get this array value. Or if you are interested in splitting this string into, say, based on the space in between them, we'll just pass in the value and a space in between. So yeah, we did man trying to um yeah, so that's for splits. I don't know if split is clear now. So we have to look to join every. Okay, this is manipulation for strings. If you look out every works, okay, every is quite similar to um, theta. Yeah. Um, so every is quite similar to theta. So what we did with theta is go into an item, get the item, and if it meets a particular condition, let me check again. Every then this is array dot okay. Oh, I quite said that. Yeah. So we oh it has a fallback function, and then we'll call okay less than okay. Sorry, not. exactly as theta. Theta would have fetch us an item and give us into a new array. But with every is a case where you give it a fallback function. Let's read what this stuff do. So the every method tests whether all elements in the array pass the test implemented by the provided function. So you need to provide a function to the every method, and then it will tell you if the resulting value is usually a boolean, either a true or false. So in this case, we had an array of items starting from 1, 30, 39, 29, 10, and 13. So this forms the array 1, and we want to call an every method on it. So we are passing in a function. This is what our function is doing. We are expecting that each item in this array are less than 40, and the returning value was true. Yes, indeed, all items in the array were less than 40. So let's say um, um, we added 41 to this, and if we try to check what this value will give us, the console log will give us a false, because there is an item in the array that doesn't meet the conditions, and of course give me a false. So how will I put it? Say you have an um, you're working in a with a spreadsheet of a list of students who passes a course, and the pass score is 60%, right? So you have an array of their scores, and you want to be sure if there is nobody that failed in that class. So you can just simply use the every, call it on that element, and see if everybody meets the 60% score. So if they meet the 60% score, you expect all students to have from 60 and above. So any student having lesser than that will tell you there is indeed one student in your class that has failed. So it basically helps you, maybe trying to see if an item in an array is either 40 or 30. That is for every, and there is the sum method. Let's see what the sum method would do for us. The sum method tests whether at least one element in the array passes the test implemented by the provided function. So again, like every, you need to provide a function into the method. So it returns true if in the array it finds an element for which the provided function returns true. Otherwise, it returns false. It doesn't modify the array. This is quite simple, and in this case they give us something that will even make it more easier for us to understand. We'll see how it is different from the every method. So with the sum method, what the sum method do, again, it returns a true or false, and the function that is being passed to the sum method is called even. Even takes in the elements and then check if on a division of 2, that is element modulus 2, if it is exactly equals to 2, let me know if it's true or false. That is, if I go into an provided item and I run a sum on that on the array, providing a function that helps me check on every division of the elements in that array, is it going to be directly equals to 0? So if you see there is 2, if you divide 2 by 2, it will have no remainder, which is there will not be any remainder. If you try with 4 divided by 2 is 2 remainder 0. So in this case now, it's telling us yes, there is indeed a even number in your array of items. So that is what the sum do, and it's quite different from every every is just um if there is one falsy value in your every, it returns you a false. We saw the case of checking that a value is less than 40. Yes, and then I added 41, which was greater than 40, and it returns a false. Previously returned a true when there was no 41 there. So in the case of sum, for some checks that one of the item meets the condition, and because one of the item meets the condition, oh, it tells you it's a true. So I use the case of a student then making up to 60%. So if you have students who fail in your class and you're running a sum to ensure that all students have a greater than 60 percentage, and when you checked, your sum returns to you that there is a true. Oh, you expected that uh, students should have greater than 60, but there's a case where students still have mm, lesser than 60. So the sum will help you identify those who failed in the class. So that's that for some. And yeah, I did a Google search for. Okay, I think I haven't touched on join. Let me quickly touch join, and then we'll check what the convert strings to URL do. What did I search? Let me just search with JS. Okay. Um, so for join, the join method creates and returns a new string. Oh, join is used directly with split. We saw how split was helping us split a sentence based on, okay, we wanted to split based on the gap in between those sentences. So it's quite the opposite for join. Join would um, join is expected to take in the item in an array and then join them together. The very first one, um, no value was passed into the join method, so it didn't leave a space in between them. And if you pass in, okay, you need a space in between this item. I don't think there is a space. Come in, let me. I think this exempted something. Come, let me verify. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think the space. Come, I don't understand the space. So let's first off do split off. Mm, see, split off. So we have Janet. So we want to join these items again. We can use join. I didn't pass this into a value. I'll just do this. Name split. Mm, name split. Yeah. So and now we intend to like form Janet back. Would have we could also do we'll do this on the named split. Name split dot join. So how do we intend to join this value? If we just pass it like that, it will leave a comma in between them. Look at it. It's returning a new single value, but there's a comma in between them because we didn't specify what to do to it. And if we leave a space, what it does is it joins them together. It's very much similar to split. Look at what split do. Split, by just opening it, it split each items. And if you do that for join, it joins all items together. So if you don't want it to be done this way, you just put a space in between them. So you see the results here. So we can as well, instead of empty space, we can do a dash in between. So it depends on what you want to do again. And I think there's an algorithm we used to do then. Like, I think. Okay, trying to remember. Um, I think we'll just do a Google search after this. Um, okay. Yeah. So the last one we had to look is convert strings to slug. Again, not familiar with it, so I don't think. Let me see if MDN has it. No, a string to be included as the URL component. I think this is it. Mm-hmm. To be very sure, let me check out this content. String to slug. You convert a string to a URL friendly slug. So you use the lowercase. So you call it the lowercase, change it to lowercase, then a string. To normalize the string, use string.prototype.replace to replace spaces, dashes, and underscores with dash, and remove special characters. So, oh, is this all the content? Wow. So what this guy did was modify string lowercase string replace. Um, I'm still trying to wrap my head around this. So in the world of web development, a slug is a URL-friendly version of a string, typically used in URLs to identify a specific page or resource. A slug usually consists of lowercase characters, numbers, and hyphens or underscores, with any spaces or special characters replaced by hyphens or underscores. This article walks you through 3 examples of converting a string to a slug in JavaScript. These examples are different from each other. Okay, okay, this is similar to. I don't know why this guy didn't start with. The previous guy started with lowercase before string. Okay, I don't very much know how to do with this. Let me see how the dash works. So that's a popular JavaScript library that provides a wide range of utility functions, including one called kebab case, which automatically converts a string to kebab case, lowercase with hyphens. Okay, we also use a little regular expression to refine the result. Um, okay, one I am not very much familiar with dealing with manipulating strings into slugs, but um, maybe is anybody who can help. But I will try as much as possible to um maybe create a list of resources for the Courier partial application. I'm absolutely unfamiliar with how it works, and I'm very much. I know it's very, very, very important, and maybe aid you is going to aid you with manipulating or working with JavaScript. So when I gather as much as I can, I will forward it to the group. I don't know if there will be questions, or you need me to make clarification to some parts, or you need to point me to parts where I jumped or I didn't touch. Anybody? Okay. Um, so in the absence of no other stuff, um, I want to appreciate everyone for coming and staying around. Lumide, thank you so much. Esemi, Nonse, thank you so much. Sorry I joined the class very late and I had a bit of network issues at the beginning of the class as well. Thank you so much. No issues, Olumide. Thank you for coming. Just for even staying around till this time. Thanks. Hello? What's up, Narita? Oh, yeah, no, 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 no. Keep on now. Uh, oh, yeah, no. Check out now. Have you no? Oh, yeah, no. Check out. Oh, yeah, no, no issues, man. You see? Eh, hello, ma. Nde? Nnọkọ. They meeting like this, so I see how the Chinere did there. Eh, later they use her phone call me since now. Abi, she just reach out. Okay, 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 okay. I me how body now? How you do rough am for there? The sister never call you like this. Say you go dey use this I never call you. Mm, oh no, but I don't come. I know, I'm not great time. Hello sir, good evening sir. I me how work sir? I, we thank God sir. Welcome. Welcome. Am- Amen sir, amen sir. Thank you sir. Yes sir. In the case sir. Right sir. All right now.